Thank you very much. Further debate. Pleased to recognize the Minister of Labour.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to speak on this very important bill, Bill 36, the Local Food Act. Speaker, as you know, as members know, that I represent a downtown urban community that is Ottawa Centre. This is a quintessential a community in the middle of a city, and I wanted to today bring that perspective to that debate, because I think too often as the debate I'm hearing is more focused on obviously on rural communities, on the impact on farmers and farms, which is extremely important. But as a consumer who prefers locally produced goods, I just wanted to bring this important perspective. And I can say, Speaker, that in my community of Ottawa Centre, there is a lot of excitement around the Local Food Act, because what people in my community want is access to freshly produced locally goods. And we're talking about baked goods, we're talking about dairy, grocery products, Speaker, meats, sweets, even crafts, Speaker, that are made in a local area. And there is great demand for it. And one of the great purposes that I see for this particular bill is creating those markets. It's making sure that these goods that are produced locally by our hardworking farmers get to our cities and get to it in a manner that residents of cities where most of the people live, Speaker, can have easy access to the locally produced goods. And I see that the Local Food Act can really do that. Now, speaking of my community, Speaker, there is a huge demand, for locally produced goods. And it's demonstrated that my riding alone, my riding of Ottawa Centre alone, Speaker, hosts during the whole summer months 4 farmers market. 4 farmers market that have nobody from the outside, bringing resale products or anything. These are all goods that are produced locally, or crafts that are made locally that gets sold at these farmers market. I want to talk a little bit about them because I think they're incredible places. I'm there quite often meeting community members. I set actually community tables at each of these farmers markets, so I have an opportunity. And these farmers markets are just packed. They're just packed by local residents who walk, bike, bring their family to these markets, meet their neighbors, have some local, some coffee along with some locally produced baked goods. It's an amazing community event where both the farmers benefit from the local community and the residents are getting access to freshly produced goods. The Ottawa Farmers Market, Speaker, which is made up of farmers. I have 3 farm markets in Ottawa, 2 of them in my riding, one at Brewer Park in Old Ottawa South, and the other is on Byron Linear Park, which is located in Westboro in my riding. The Brewer Park will be starting on May 5th, Speaker, going on to November 17th, and the Farmers Market on Byron Linear Park in Westboro will be starting on May 18th, going all the way to October 26th. And you know what? We're excited. We're looking forward to welcoming our farmers from local community and coming and selling these locally produced foods. And I really want to take this opportunity to thank the board members of the Ottawa Farmers Market for their incredible work in bringing these products. Robin Turner, Andy Tarot, Greer Knox, Greg Lees, Walter Henn, Dan O'Brien, Denise Atkinson, Colin Samuels, George Wright, Jocelyn Garland, and the General Manager, Linda Cook, all very hard-working people. The other example of a great farmers market in my community is the main farmers market in Old Ottawa East neighborhood in Ottawa Centre. Now, amazing thing about this farmer market is that it was started by the community itself. It was not led by farmers, it was led by the community because they wanted to have an opportunity to buy locally produced foods. So they went to the local St. Paul University and said, you have this parking lot which is free on the weekends. Can we bring farmers to sell locally produced foods?
Idea.
Great combination of urban neighborhood community coming together and inviting farmers, and it has been a success till been since 2007 when it was started as a pilot project by Sustainable Living Ottawa East, which is a local community group which wants to create obviously a sustainable way of living for neighbors. And this community board driven farmers market has become just an incredible success and continues to grow. And again, big hats off to my good friends and constituents, like people like Andrea Norke, Rebecca Everett, Jamie Brum, Justin Van Dyck, Ashley Deeth, Curtis Andrews, David Schubert, and the General Manager Greer Knox for the great work they're doing in growing the main farmers market. I think it's starting very soon, I believe in May as well, for the whole season, and we're looking forward to it. Then we have got the Ottawa Parkdale Farmer Market, which was established in 1927. It's been going on in my community since 1927. It's run by the city of Ottawa, and it has all kinds of a variety of produce that are sold, and flowers and plants. Again, a very successful farmers market, which starts around late April and goes all the way to actually December 24th, because they actually then even sell Christmas trees and Christmas crafts, which is very exciting for members of my community. A lot of these farmers market speaker are supported by by Foodland Ontario, by the Ministry of Agriculture and Food, by Trillium Foundation, making it more accessible for the community. Very quickly, Speaker, I want to also talk about an organization like Just Food in my community, which is very much focused in promoting the access to local food in our community. They're behind ensuring that we have community gardens in my community, which, by the way, I've got about 3 or 4 different community gardens as well, which I can speak another 10 minutes easily on. But Just Food has been very active in helping shape the Local Food Act, and I'm sure they will be at the committee as well, talking about the benefits of local food and perhaps, in fact, how it can be even further strengthened. And there's nothing wrong in that, in making sure how well it can be strengthened. So I do want to thank the good people at Just Food for their advocacy in having access to good locally produced foods. People like Kathleen Neen, Sarah Martin, Dr. Patricia Belmingil, Marisa Bender, Jason Garlu, and staff liaison Elodie Mantha, and Mo Grahan, who's the executive director, is a force to be reckoned with. I know that member from Glengarry, Prescott Russell, knows she does a lot in terms of advocating access to local food, and the other members of the staff as well for their hard work. They have a very neat program called Savor Ottawa, Speaker, where they have linked in with local restaurants. And to see if they can create a brand in Ottawa around locally produced goods. So restaurants are now starting to participate in making sure that their menu is made up of locally produced foods. And Savor Ottawa sticker sort of goes on the front window of the restaurant, so you know when you walk in a restaurant in my community, be it in Byward Market in the riding of Ottawa Vanier, or in many places in my community, like in the Glebe or in Westboro or Wellington West Village, you know that the food you're purchasing, the great dishes that you will be tasting are produced locally, that the chef has worked with local farmers in getting these produce. It's a very successful program, and whenever I have tourists who come to town, I always ask them to look for restaurants which are partners of Savor Ottawa, because not only you're supporting local economy, local business, but you're also supporting local farmers. These are the kind of activities, speakers, that really result in ensuring that we have good support for our farmers who work extremely hard. Absolutely. And by having Local Food Act, which will give even more shape and expression to such ideas like the ones that are happening in my community of Ottawa Centre, I think we will find even greater opportunities for our farmers, and of course for me, in my case, the hardworking farmers in Eastern Ontario. So I commend the government for bringing the Local Food Act, because I think it's in the right direction, and from a point of view of an urban riding like mine, we are hungry for locally produced foods. We want those opportunities, be it through our farmers market, be it through our restaurants. We're looking forward to those opportunities, and if this bill can create those markets, can cultivate those opportunities for our farmers and our cities, I think we're all better off as a province. So I support this legislation, Speaker. Thank you.